Shirime the Curse of the Butt-Eye is not a so serious game that will make you butt-clenchingly scared at all times, as it drives deep into the twisted world of the infamous Shirime yokai who loves to play a game of surprise with unsuspecting butts. Hi folks, I'm R, your narrator, as usual, and welcome to this interesting video. If you have any game or video suggestions, make sure to send them to me on my Twitter or subreddit. Keep in mind that this video will have spoilers, and with that in mind, let's begin. Infamous Shirime yokai from Japanese folklore, also known as butt-eyed monster, is a real pain in the rare end for travelers on the road at night. At the first probe examination, Shirime seems like your average Joe in a fancy kimono, but get a little closer and you'll notice something smelly going on down there. And by smelly, I mean a giant, lightning shining eye staring right back at you from Shirime's butthole. This mischievous yokai loves to play a game of surprise with unsuspecting travelers. It approaches them in the dark, asking for a moment of their time, but before they can even answer, Shirime drops its kimono and reveals its true, shiny form, a butt-eyed beast. Not everyone has the cogence to stare into the eye of the butt, but for those brave enough to do so, the truth they discover may change their lives forever. Rumor has it, only a few had enough courage to look into the eye of Shirime, but only one succeeded to encounter an eye-opening experience and discover the truth, only to find it would change his life forever. So if you ever find yourself on a late-night stroll in Japan and someone asks if you have a moment to spare, just remember to keep your eyes peeled for any suspicious butt cracks. A young man filled with worry and fear for his missing girlfriend Sharon, who had vanished without a trace a few days back, is desperate for answers and had been tirelessly searching for any clues that could lead him to her whereabouts. One day, while going through Sharon's belongings, he stumbles upon her diary. As he flips through the pages, his eyes widen with concern as he reads about an altar and a test of courage. The diary suggested that Sharon had embarked on a mission to face her deepest fears and find her inner strength. But what worried him even more was a mention of a legendary test that involved looking into the eye of the devil, or in other words, the eye of the butthole, as it was said to be a challenge that tested the courage of those who dared to face it. The boyfriend's heart and bottom start racing with anxiety as he wondered if Sharon had taken on this challenge and gotten herself in some real shit. He knew he had to act fast and find her before it was too late. Fortunately, her diary also contained a hand-drawn map marking the location where she was headed. The young man sets on a butt-scratchingly long rescue mission, determined to find his beloved girlfriend and bring her back home safely. As he journeys towards the location on the map, his mind is filled with all sorts of questions and worries. He knew that he had to be brave and keep moving forward, no matter how crappy the situation got. As the boyfriend follows the map, his eyes scan the surroundings for any sign of Sharon. He then spots her abandoned driving license lying unattended on a bench. He picks it up and clutches it tightly while his mind races as to what may have happened to her. As he moves forward, he stumbles upon an old and seemingly abandoned shrine. Even though terrified, he pushes forward, determined to find any clues that could lead him to his missing girlfriend. Inside the shrine, he notices a pile of books stacked next to dimly lit candles, as if someone had been reading them not long ago. Curiosity gets the better of him and he walks over to take a closer look. However, as he approaches the pile, he starts hearing demonic whispers that only grow louder and more disturbing with each step he takes. Flushed and frozen with fear, the boyfriend, unsure of what to do next, turns around quickly, hoping to escape the eerie presence, only to find that there was nothing there at all. Breathing heavily, with his stomach rumbling, he tries to regain his composure and focus on the task at hand. He knows he has to keep searching for Sharon, even if it means facing his deepest fears and confronting the deep, dark unknown. As the boyfriend continues his exploration, he stumbles upon a drawing of the infamous Shirime, the butt-eye. The drawing eerily hunts him to look among us if he wants to confront the demon. Not far from the drawing, he discovers a notebook filled with secrets about Shirime's legend. It tells a tale of a samurai who was once walking through the streets of Kyoto and was confronted by a strange person calling out to him. As the samurai turned to look, the man stripped off his clothes and pointed his bare buttocks at him, where the samurai saw the clear reflection of his soul. Instead of the expected the samurai was met with a huge, glittering eye of a demon, the Shirime. Despite its unnerving appearance, the notebook claims that Shirime is harmless and only takes pleasure in scaring people. After reading the story, the boyfriend can't shake off the feeling of unease, wondering if Shirime had anything to do with Sharon's disappearance. As he wanders through the dark and eerie forest, the boyfriend stumbles upon an old abandoned phone booth. A note is pinned to it, warning him not to touch it. The author of the note describes their own fear of the forest and the dare they were challenged to complete, known as the test of courage, in order to impress their peers. The writing mentions the test of courage, similarly to Sharon's diary, confirming that Sharon may be the author. Determined to uncover the truth, the boyfriend searches for more notes along the path his girlfriend had taken. But as he delves deeper into the forest, he can't shake off the feeling that he's being followed. He hears strange slurpy footsteps and eerie sounds that are anything but human. Despite his growing fear, he knows he must press on if he ever wants to find out what happened to Sharon. As the boyfriend continues his search, he stumbles upon yet another note that sheds further light on Sharon's terrifying experience in the forest. In the note, Sharon writes about spending the whole day wandering around the woods without incident. However, as darkness descends, strange noises and an increasing sense of dread made her feel uneasy. She mentions how she felt like she was being watched, and the feeling only intensified when she realized she was lost. Soon enough, another note reveals Sharon's fear reached new heights as she struggled to find her way out of the forest. She admits to hearing Shirime's demonic screams and felt its hot breath on her neck. Feeling very stupid now for taking up this challenge in the middle of the forest and not telling her boyfriend about it, the faceless creature seemed to be everywhere at once, taunting her with its presence. Despite her growing desperation, Sharon seems too petrified to turn around and face the demon head-on. After reading the note, the boyfriend realizes that time to find Sharon and bring her back to safety is running out. The same faceless entity, emitting eerie, gremlin-like noises, begins to follow the protagonist, causing him to run away in terror. He then discovers another note, this time with a drawing of a butt coming out of a blocked toilet. The note describes Sharon's experience of starvation and dehydration, which led her to experience hallucinations. She began seeing and hearing things that weren't really there, including the butt coming out of the toilet. Sharon seems to be stuck in a loop, walking for hours but always ending up in the same place, suggesting that there was no escape once someone entered the forest. The presence of abandoned cars scattered throughout the forest suggests that Sharon was not the first to be lured into the woods to prove her bravery for some strange weird reason. It seems that Sharon, even though 7 days in the forest, was unable to escape Shirime, as the yokai seemed determined to show her his infamous face of demon. Shirime seemed to be getting more and more impatient as Sharon seemed to lack courage to look into his butt, prolonging, clenching eye. The boyfriend stumbles upon another note besides a campfire, which indicates that Sharon may have incurred Shirime's wrath by stealing the eye from a stone statue of the demon at an altar. Local folks warn that anyone who takes Shirime's eye will be hunted down and killed by the demon, leaving Sharon filled with immediate regret for her reckless act. As the protagonist continues to search the abandoned factory, he comes across a note left by Sharon. According to the note, Sharon couldn't handle the constant feeling of being followed by the demon, along with its unsettling giggles and whispers and probably farts. Her mental state was rapidly deteriorating, and she came to realize that her recklessness in stealing the demon's eye was the cause of her suffering. Having read all the notes and growing increasingly anxious, the boyfriend decides to make a dash towards the altar, hoping to find Sharon there and rectify her mistake by returning the eye to its rightful owner. The protagonist is then quickly ambushed by Shirime, who chases him all the way back to the shrine where he had begun his search. In a state of distress, he manages to evade the demon's butt eye and barricade himself inside the shrine, trying to come up with a plan of escape. As he searches the shrine, he discovers a note that reads, "Eye for an eye," forcing him to make a difficult decision. Shirime seems to be seeking a replacement for his stolen eye, and the protagonist realizes that he must sacrifice his own eye to appease the demon and potentially save himself and girlfriend. With the hope of making it out alive and helping his girlfriend escape, the protagonist uses a spoon to just do that and offers his eye to Shirime, who happily accepts it. As the boyfriend stumbles out of the forest, he calls out for his girlfriend, desperate to find her. In the distance, he spots a figure lying next to a car and rushes over. As he gets closer, he realizes it's Sharon and he cries out her name once more, hoping that she's alive. Sharon's lack of response on the ground implies that she may not have survived her encounter with the dangerous butt eye, especially since the prologue suggests that only one person had previously managed to survive looking into Shrime's eye and discovering the life-changing truth. It is possible that the only survivor was Sharon's boyfriend, who was quick-thinking enough to sacrifice his own eye to Shirime in exchange for his own life. In his search for Sharon, he ultimately discovers her lifeless body, revealing the truth about her motivations for going into the forest and confirming the legend's validity. This discovery breaks him down emotionally as he comes to terms with what had happened to his girlfriend and is very thankful that he can drive back and release himself after clenching for such a long time. And that is it for this video, folks. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm sorry for making this video, but it was too hilarious not to. Either way, it's been your host Star. Thank you for being here, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day.